So today I want to talk about something that happened. It's been a few weeks now since it actually went down, but I was at work and out of nowhere somebody started screaming in the lobby of Burger King. You can see back there. Somebody started screaming in the lobby and I wasn't sure what was going on. I went away from the drive-through window and I went and I took a look out in the lobby, and out there was somebody who was laying down flat out on the ground, totally unresponsive. Somebody was doing chest compressions on him, and someone was kind of freaking out, and there was a crowd around them. And I picked up the phone, I called 911, and apparently somebody else had also already called 911, so that was slightly redundant. But then, before the paramedics actually arrived, the guy doing chest compressions on him was able to resuscitate him, and he was alive, and then they took him away to the hospital. And so, that's not the entire point of this story that I want to get across, but that's just like, this lays the ground rules for you, or I guess the groundwork for the story. Now, what the point of the story that I want to get to basically has to do with the fact that at first, I was not freaked out, I wasn't scared, I wasn't really anything. And everyone else, most of the people in the store, just ended up continuing on as though nothing was happening. I mean, there were a couple who didn't, and then, but you know, we were continuing to work and continuing to do our jobs, etc., etc. But what ended up, how do I put this? I began to be freaked out, but the reason, and I remember this very clearly, was like almost making a conscious decision to be freaked out, because I felt like it was the thing that I was supposed to do in a situation like that, where just like, it seemed like to actually be able to remain calm was, I can't really describe how, but it seemed slightly wrong. And so I purposefully lost my cool for some reason. Just because it seemed like you shouldn't be calm. Like, it seemed like I should not be calm while this is happening. But I actually was to start out. And what this basically brings me down to is, we can all, like, the idea of being able to choose how you react and how you respond to something, even at that most basic emotional level. Now, I mean, a good way that I have heard this put before is that we have been created as like captains of our own ships adrift at sea, right? Now, we cannot control what storms will come our way. We can't control the winds, we can't control the swell of the waves or anything like that. But what we can control at the end of the day is our own navigation. We can trim our sails, and we can set the lines, and we can turn the rudder, and we can set ourselves based on what we know around us. The point is navigation of the storms, navigation of the sea that is this world and life that we have in it. That is something that no one can ever take away from you, no matter how hard they try to. And it is something that we have down to the most tiny, tiny little aspects of ourselves. Like, for example, this was something that I actually picked up on as I began to turn towards Christianity, was an awareness and a greater control over my emotional reaction to just basically anything. So like if something would happen that would make me angry or blah 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 and all this blah blah blah, it occurred to me eventually that was utterly pointless, and it didn't serve any real purpose for me, and it just generally tended to make me more irritable for longer, and I would feel terrible. And then it eventually got to the point where, when things that would have made me angry before occurred, before the actual anger started, I consciously chose to not be angry. I consciously chose to react better to these situations. And it was a bit of a revelation to me, the fact that that a person, just like in general, myself included, of course, myself more specifically, I might say, that I could actually manipulate my own emotions before they occurred by simply making a choice within, to not allow any external action, no matter what, to dictate how I felt, but instead to just leave all that as what it truly is, external, and to just choose how I wanted to navigate, I changed tack, and instead of going with the wind that would blow me straight towards anger, I tacked and I weaved against it, and I moved against the wind, and I found myself in a far better place and in calmer waters with nothing but smooth sailing ahead. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all. I'll make the next video as soon as possible.